Hola y Bienvenidos a mi chat de soda, Hecho en Mexico. I cannot tell you how many times that I actually worked on saying that correctly, and I do apologize if I did pronounce that wrong. I used to be kind of good with Spanish back in high school, but that was over a decade ago. And I hope to get back into learning Spanish. But here we are, guys, with our Made in Mexico sodas. Oh boy. And I've been waiting to do this one for quite some time because here in the States we have the regular Cokes and you can find the bottled version. I used to always think these were just classic Cokes, ones that, if you like to spend a little bit more money, you can have a nice glass bottle, to show, hey, I'm old-fashioned. Well, no, actually, these are made in Mexico, and they actually do taste better. At least the ones that I've actually tasted, these two right here. I wanted to do some type of comparison, but that would be way too massive. And one of these is actually harder to find than the others. You can find the Hecho in Mexico version of Squirt more than you can find the actual bottle version coming from America. But, branching out. And these are actually made with cane sugar, unlike our high fructose corn syrup versions. And, already stated, I actually have had these two here. Will we probably do a comparison of this with regular Coke? I don't think there's any point to. Now, if they ever bring back new Coke, I would like to do a comparison with new Coke, classic Coke, and the Mexican Coke. I doubt that will ever happen. So, here we are. We're going to start off, of course, with the classic Coca-Cola. I mean, what am I basing this one on? Because Coke, it's not top tier. Coke is not top tier anymore. It used to be good. Like, when you used to get a cherry Coke, vanilla Coke when they first, especially the vanilla Cokes when they first came out, they were amazing. Nowadays, you hardly even taste anything. It's just Coke. They want you to remember that it's Coke. And unless you look at the creations, which have a different flavor, they kind of branch out to what they want Coke. I don't know how to say that. I mean, different. They want your palate to be different, other than just Coke. And we've already reviewed, 4 of them now? And, I mean, just, with ordering a lot of the stuff online, it's sometimes getting harder to find. But these are actually in the stores, so give them a try. And classic Coke, I do actually like. You are going to be paying a little bit more money for the bottle and everything. I think in some states you could just turn the bottle in or something for like a penny, a nickel. I don't even know if they still do that, to be honest. But the actual Coke itself is slightly darker. I don't know if that's just because of cane syrup or the actual cane sugar, but it's a little more silkier. If that makes sense. The flavor is not as sweet. It's actually more refreshing than opening up a regular plastic bottle that's here in the States, which is just too sweet. And they're muddled. They're not all the same. You can get a Coca-Cola from one store, get another Coca-Cola from the other store. They're not the same. It's like it's like sometimes they're more sugar and less sugar. What I found about some of these bottles is that they're pretty constant. They're pretty straight of what you get, as well as, sweetness and flavor. Cannot go wrong with something like that. This is good. But yeah, that's all about that one. Let's move on to Sprite. Oh, we didn't actually talk about labels. Well, they're old-fashioned. Old-fashioned Coke label, really nothing special. The Sprite doesn't really have anything at all except it printed on the top here. It's just an old-fashioned looking bottle, which I actually like. I like old-fashioned type of bottles, and the fonts, and they're just printed on. They're not just labels, except for the Coke one. Actually, no, that's on there too. But yeah, you just gotta love the retro look of these. But yeah, the Sprite ones are just interesting because, I don't know, it almost looks like a bottle of beer if you just, held it like that. But yeah, I'm not going to be talking too much because there's really nothing much to talk about with these. I know we did the Legacy and the lemonade last week, but that smell just smells just like the lemonade does. Now that's a lemon lime soda. That's what I remember growing up. That is good. It's not overpowering. I mean, the carbonation is. You could have a burping contest with just chugging one of those. That is really good. If you've not had a Hecho in Mexico Sprite, I definitely advise to get one. And yes, the Sprites are kind of hard to find. Some Publixes do carry them, so look out for one, get them. You don't have to get like a whole bunch of them. It's something that, you know, putting in the fridge, going on a hot day, mowing, cracking it open, chugging it, burp, move on with your day. And you feel good about yourself. Okay, I'm not really a fan of Fanta. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Fanta's not really a soda that I actually drank a lot as a kid. My apologies, this Naranja soda. Fanta's everywhere. Fanta's been around. It's got actually a very interesting history if you look that up. Growing up, I drank Slice, and I miss Slice. If I talk about a good orange soda, it was Slice. Or Crush. Crush isn't bad. But Fanta was not a soda that was usually available to us in my small town. At least not that I remember. And my family never really drank Fanta. Even though my mom talks about it a lot when she was a kid. So I personally didn't have it growing up. So this is interesting to me. I've had regular Fanta. Orange. So I'm interested to know what this is going to be, because the Fantas are way too sweet. They're very heavy on the tongue, almost like medicine. So I'm hoping that this version isn't going to be as bad. And I usually don't say no to a good orange soda as long as it's good. It doesn't have that kind of heaviness to it. Like I said, I miss Slice. Okay. It's got very weird intervals of aftertaste. It's more like tangerine soda. It's not orange. This does not taste like a normal Fanta at all. I don't know if I like it. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Fanta, so I don't know if I'm... No, it just tastes like a tangerine soda, which I'm telling in my head, I'm telling myself it's orange, but at the same time, this tastes like our tangerine tree outside. It's not heavy though. It's not overly sweet. It's more sour than anything else, which I usually don't mind, but certainly better orange sodas out there. Squirt. Yep, it's Squirt. A lot of you may not know what the hell this is, and I certainly did not know until about 4 years ago, and that was before I started this channel. And this is one of those sodas that I really was not interested in doing. If you don't know what Squirt is, it's grapefruit. Grapefruit soda. Oh boy, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of grapefruit. Though there are some devotees of this, just like there's devotees of Moxie. It's a small little niche, but they swear by it. They love it. Ooh, all right. I do, out of all the bottles, I like the ridges on this one. I love the classic with the Sprite, the little divots, little dimples that are in there. And this one's just a normal Coca-Cola bottle, but this little spiral, it's not even a full spiral. It's just the ridges on it. I absolutely love this. I don't know if I'm actually going to like this, so it can't be that bad. I mean, it's grapefruit, so you know it's going to be sour, but I just wonder how this is going to taste. And yes, if I do find the regular Squirt, hell, I'll get it for a video. It's not going to be in the bottles. It's going to be in like, oh, it's going to be in the bottle, not in the glass bottles like we usually do. It's going to be like in the plastic ones. Okay. It's almost like Alka-Seltzer. Oh boy, it actually looks like Alka-Seltzer. it bad that I think it smells like Alka-Seltzer? It doesn't smell bad. Oh. Ooh. That first hit, everything seemed okay. And then it just like grabs a hold of your tongue, just like claws it, and then just lets go. Okay, this one's difficult. I'm trying to get a hint of aftertaste from this, and it's not there. The only it's very sour. It's bitter on the. You have 1 second when you're tasting it. It seems pretty fine. It tastes like almost like a Sprite, but then that second grabs your tongue and just squeezes it so hard, and all you taste is the sour and bitterness, and then it just lets go, and there's nothing there. I don't hate it. I actually think this would make a great mixer, especially with maybe gin. You could make a good gin and tonic with one of these. Yeah, I actually think that would be a good idea. Not so much for chugging down, but definitely a mixer. I would, if I was a bartender, I'd definitely keep a couple of bottles of Squirt on the side for making stuff like that. It'd be good with vodka too. But it really has no flavor, even now. It's gone. It is completely gone. Which I'm curious to know what making a gin and tonic like this would taste like. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. It's like unpleasant, you're fine. So, I don't know how to... I don't hate it. I honestly think that it is better than the Fanta, to be honest. So this is interesting. Our Hecho in Mexico made me really question a lot of things. I thought that the Fanta would be probably top tier. Coke just tastes like Coke. It's better Coke to me. Then you have the Sprite. It tastes like Sprite. It's actually really good. The Fanta, not so much. It's very sour. It's not my thing. Not for an orange soda like that. And the Squirt, well, it's non-existent, but in a good way. And that's about it, guys. I will be doing the Pepsi line. I don't know. I haven't looked up. I'll put it up here. Who the hell makes Squirt and everything? I don't think it's Coca-Cola, but this is the Pepsi brand. Now, I know that you can get strawberry Fanta in the Mexican version. The next one I would like to do is the Pepsi. I do have a 7-Up, but I can't seem to locate the Pepsi Hecho Mexico version. And I'm wanting to find other maybe a Dr. Pepper if they have it. But right now I'm not getting any luck on that. So that'll probably be delayed for another video. And this will not be our only Hecho Mexico that is just for big brands like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I do want to try the other flavors that are out there that you can get like in the international aisle of grocery stores. There's a fruit punch one. I think there's pineapple, coconut. I know there's a bunch of them. So we'll see where we get when we get down the road on that. Okay, so this was fun. I actually really enjoyed doing this, branching out in different countries now, which I really want to start doing, especially when I go to the Philippines later this year. Hopefully, find some sodas there that I have not tried and do a soda chat in the Philippines. I think that'd be great. A soda chat on location type of thing. But Coca-Cola, Hecho in Mexico, the bottle's great. All the bottles were great. But I think it's probably the lowest bottle of my favorites here, apart from the Fanta one, 6. But you can't beat that. The aroma, the flavor, that just is so a true refreshing Coca-Cola. That to me is the original Coca-Cola, 8 and 8. Overall 7. Sprite. So I love the bottles, the little dimples I just can't get enough of. And it's so minimalistic, so it doesn't really need anything else other than that green deathly color to it, 8. And the aroma... Oh, it just makes me just remember my childhood. Oh, I love it. 8. And as for the flavor, that's Sprite, guys. That is the honest-to-goodness flavor of Sprite, 9. Overall, 8. Fanta. All right. The bottle, 6. I think it's very creative. But I am not convinced that this is a Fanta orange by any stretch of the imagination. I think, honestly, this is tangerine, which is fine if it was labeled as tangerine. But my taste buds are saying, no, this is not orange, this is tangerine. So 4 and 4 for the aroma and the flavor. So 4. Squirt. Squirt. What am I going to do with you? The bottle is my favorite. I absolutely love the design on that 8. But you're going to get into no man's land with your aroma and flavor because you smell like Alka-Seltzer, which, like I said, is not a bad thing. And your flavor just kind of gives you a split second of agony. Kind of a good way. I'm not going to hate it. But then just vanishes. And it is gone. Like I said, it would be a great mixer. 6 and 6. Overall, 6.